What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe the new year is just around the corner. I feel like I am still stuck in 2020, which was 2 years ago. But I wanted to share with you 22 small habits to incorporate into your life, hopefully into 2020, to change your life. I try to do a video like this every year so that I share with you some new tips, but also share with you some reminders that I am still doing every day, and hopefully that motivates you to keep going and to really reset your life for this new year. There are things in our lives that we cannot control, but these small habits are things that hopefully you can incorporate into your life. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, make sure to drink more water every single day. Now, I know I may sound like a broken record. Everyone knows they should be drinking more water, but what does that actually look like? Take your body weight, divide by 2. That's how many ounces of water you should be drinking every single day to really hydrate your body. Now, water is so important for so many different reasons, but it's really great for helping our skin glow and to feel hydrated and not to feel so dry. It also helps with our hair. It also helps to flush out any toxins in our bodies. It's just a great way, and many of us are very blessed to have access to clean drinking water all the time. We really should be taking advantage of drinking as much water as we possibly can. Number 2, listen to your circadian rhythm. I've mentioned this a few times in my morning routines, but a circadian rhythm is just another way of saying your body clock. Our body sends us signals without even us telling it to. It already knows what to do. So we should really be listening to our body clock a little more often. Your body sends you signals when it's time to sleep, when it's time to eat, and when it's time to wake up, or even go to the bathroom. So those are little things that we really should be mindful of. I tend to get hungry at the same time every day, and I tend to want to sleep and wake up around the same time every day because those are small habits, and my circadian rhythm has really been accustomed to that. Now you can change that and you can make new habits, but try to create some type of routine that you can stick to. Number 3, which is actually one of my favorite tips, increase your movement. Find ways to increase the amount of movement you do every single day. Now that's not only exercising, that is parking farther away from a store and walking a little further. That is taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Getting up out of our chair and moving around a little more than we normally do. All of those little movements that actually helps our body better than just sitting. Number 4, connecting with the circadian rhythm, you also want to make sure that you have a sleep schedule. Babies oftentimes are put on a sleep schedule by their parents, and they are told to sleep at 8 or 9 o'clock, and then they naturally wake up at a certain time. We should also have a sleep schedule and a bedtime. Our body loves routines and it loves rhythms, and so to have a certain cutoff is really important to practice self-discipline. So if you tell yourself by 11 o'clock I am done, then that's a great way for you to really put yourself in a routine. Now at 11 o'clock I have all of my apps turned off, and I've mentioned this in my other videos too, but it's a great reminder of, hey, you're hitting your limit and it's time to turn everything off and prepare your mind to sleep. Number 5, this is something I started in 2020, but consider investing early and investing often. Now that is a term that Personal Finance uses a lot, and I really like his page, but I would say one of the most efficient ways to do this is if you make less than $129,000 as an individual person, you can contribute to a Roth IRA. It's basically a long-term retirement / saving plan, and if you're married, if you make less than $204,000 combined, then you can each contribute to a Roth IRA as well. So that means you can contribute up to $6,000 every single year. I maxed out mine in 2020 and 2021, and so I highly recommend every single person to do this if you qualify, because it's one of the best ways to invest and get a return. And when you retire and you withdraw the amount, it's actually tax-free. So because I maxed out mine in 2021 already, there are also other ways that I invest. Now, if you're just starting out with investing and you want to test the waters a little bit, this video is sponsored by Stash, and I am going to show you just how simple it can really be, and you don't need a lot of money to start. Investing doesn't have to be complicated, and Stash makes it really easy for beginners. And something I've been thinking a lot about as to why investing is so important is because if we just have cash lying around, or it's just sitting in our savings account which barely has any interest accrued, then in a few years our money is actually not going to be worth as much because of inflation. And in California, our inflation is cuckoo bananas. I've been using the Stash app for a couple weeks now. I highly recommend it for beginners who just want to start investing and seeing what it's like. Stash costs as little as $1 a month, and they offer 3 different plans, so you can choose whichever plan works for you. The app is really simple with over 3,000 stocks and ETFs. Plus you can get advice along the way if you need it, or you can also set up a smart portfolio portfolio, and then Stash will invest for you on your behalf. You can also build strong financial habits through a tool that allows you to automate your investments on a set schedule. You can also use the stock back card, where Stash will give you stock back where you shop or in a default stock or ETF of your choice. So again, Stash offers 3 different types of plans that will hopefully help you the most. I have the lowest one, that's $1 a month. Go ahead and check them out, and I'll make sure to link everything in my description below. Number 6, another one of my favorite small habit tips is to incorporate some strength training into our lives. Women especially should be lifting weights, and it's not just for men. Just because you lift an 8-pound dumbbell does not mean we're going to get gigantic muscles. But yes, you can do it. Yes, you can start. Strength training is so important, especially for our bone density. As we get older, our bodies are not producing as much collagen, and it's harder for our bodies to have stronger bones. So we just want to make sure that we are helping our bodies as much as we can now, so we don't have to pay for it later. Number 7, recognize your coping mechanisms. Many times in our lives, when we are upset, when we are angry, we do certain things to cope and deal with it. Whether that is yelling, whether that is running away, burying our face into a pillow, or sleeping or eating, those are all things that we try to do to cope with the feelings that we have. So recognize, what do you normally do when you're feeling a certain type of way? As a child, those were things that we learned to survive and to feel safe. But as an adult, we can actually unlearn some of the negative coping mechanisms we might have and replace them with more positive ones. But it all first starts with self-awareness, being aware of what we tend to do. Tip number 8, going with our circadian rhythm, we need to listen to our body more. When you start to feel a little full, it's okay to not finish all of your food. And if I start to feel full, I'll take some of the food home and then eat it again later when I feel hungry, or eat it the next day as another meal. It's a great money saving tip, and also listening to our body and not overfeeding ourselves. If I'm tired, I make sure that I go to sleep. Number 9, I am working on this. I'm trying to be a lot more sustainable. Now, there's a lot that I could do better, but something that I've been trying recently is I've been using microfiber towels. I've been using sustainable laundry detergent that comes in little tablets in a refillable jar. And of course, I always use reusable water bottles. I try not to use plastic. And then I recently also got period underwear, trying to be more sustainable. But of course, there's a lot for me to learn too. Number 10, eat more plant foods with polyphenols. Polyphenols are basically the color that comes in our food. Boost our gut bacteria and take care of our bodies, and make sure that we also feel fuller longer. There's red, orange, yellow, green, like the rainbow. And then there's black and purple, and then tan, yellow, brown. So those are all the colors you want to look for in your meals. And if you can eat that in every meal, that's fantastic. Then I know I'm really feeding my body with nutrients that it needs. Number 11, compare yourself to yourself. Just because someone else wins doesn't mean you have to lose, unless you're an athlete. That's a little different. But in any other case in our lives, if someone does better, we can celebrate them while also working on ourselves and making sure, are we better today than we were yesterday? You seeing someone else succeed, they are still considered a side character in your life story. Number 12, practice active listening. Now, this is something that I personally am trying to work on as well, but it's not listening with the anticipation of responding to someone, but genuinely just being there in the moment with them and listening to them, making eye contact, not being on our phones when someone is talking to us. All of those little things, it's just being very polite and being an active listener. Tip number 13, going back to some finances, set a saving schedule for yourself. Now, I have 2 very detailed videos on how I budget my life, but I also talk about my spending habits and my saving schedule. It's one of my favorite things to do. Number 14 is a productivity tip. Make deadlines for yourself, especially as an adult. Sometimes we have to be told what to do, but many times it's really easy for us to put things off to the side or procrastinate. So I make a to-do list and I write out what date I want this to be done by, which means I need to submit this, I need to finish this, to mail this. All of that has a date, and I tell myself when I should do it by. Many times I have it done earlier than the due date. Number 15, stop saying the word just. I just wanted to ask, just wondering, I just wanted to know. All of those things make us sound a little more unsure or insecure of ourselves, and it's really good to practice taking that word out and saying what we simply want. I want you to know, I was wondering. Hi, I'm checking in about. So all of those things help us feel a little more confident and sure of ourselves. Number 16 is something that I will also be doing in the new year, and that is decluttering at least one thing in my room every single day. And I'm either going to donate it or trash it or recycle it. So this is going to be a way for me to declutter every single day for an entire month of January. Just pick one thing every day that you want to get rid of. Hopefully you're going to see your room is slightly more decluttered. Number 17, hopefully this isn't me, but number 17 is something that I have been doing a lot lately, and it is unsubscribing from emails that I no longer need. I've had my email address since I was 12 years old. So I have subscribed to a lot of random different things, and I just go back and I just click unsubscribe, or I report as spam. I just get rid of it. I don't need to put my energy into looking at it. So I just get rid of anything that no longer suits me. Number 18, we always say we need to relax more, or we need to practice self-care. But there's a difference between relaxing in a passive way and relaxing in an active way. And I find that active relaxation is one of the best ways to fill our cup, whether that's reading a book, walking outside in nature, cooking something new for yourself. All of those things are active ways to really relax rather than passively taking in things. Number 19 is also something I'm working on, and is connecting with people at least once a week. So hit someone up that you haven't talked to in a while and just say, hey, how are you doing? Number 20, which is also very important, fix your posture. Now I hope everyone right now kind of got up a little bit. We want to make sure that we take care of our back, and it's going to be so helpful, especially when we get older. So make sure you fix your posture now. Number 21, I'm actually surprised that a lot of people don't do this, but when you leave a room or you leave a vicinity, make sure you turn off all your lights. It's a great way to save electricity, save money for whoever's paying for the electricity, and a good habit to turn off things that you no longer need. And number 22, remember that our bodies do so much for us. There are so many things in our lives that our bodies do that we don't even think about. Our bodies are so amazing, and we should really treat our bodies with respect. We'll just incorporate the sense of gratitude for our bodies and treat it the way that it deserves. Eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired, and get your body moving. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye! I hope that you enjoyed these small habits that you can incorporate in 2020. Purposefully did 22 habits for 2022. Bye!